this video, we're going to look at sample space. The sample space of a probability experiment is a list of all the possible outcomes in that experiment. Now, the thing about sample space is every possible outcome is only listed once. You wouldn't say the fruit in my fruit bowl is apple, 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 pear, 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 grape, 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 grape. You'd say I've got apples, pears, and grapes. And so that is independent of the probability of each specific outcome. When we're writing sample space, the notation is really important. We use squiggly brackets. So if we were to look at, for example, flipping a coin, when we wrote the sample space for that, we would use capital S for sample space equals squiggly bracket. We list all the possible options, in this case heads or tails for flipping a coin, and we close with another squiggly bracket. Let's look at some examples of this. I've got here 3 diagrams. And I'm going to explain some probability experiments to you that we could use from these diagrams. The first one is a fruit bowl. In this bowl, there's 2 bananas, 4 apples, and 4 pears. So when we're listing the sample space, we just want to list the options. We start with capital S equals and our squiggly bracket. First option from my fruit bowl, if I were to close my eyes and randomly select a piece of fruit by perhaps touching it, my outcomes are a banana. I could get a banana, or an apple, or a pear. They're all the possible options if I close my eyes, put my hand into the fruit bowl, and randomly touch a piece of fruit. And so that is a list of the sample space. It doesn't matter that there's more apples than bananas, because banana is still an option. In the second diagram, we've got a bag with marbles in it. The options from this bag are black marbles, white marbles, or this sort of swirly pattern. There are different numbers of each, but that doesn't matter for our sample space. We write S equals squiggly bracket. The options that we could choose for a marble from the bag are black, white, or the swirly pattern. That's all the possible options. Each one has a different probability or a different likelihood of being chosen, but that's all the possible options we could choose. Now for the last example, I've got 2 bags. We're going to consider an experiment where we randomly select 1 marble from each bag. So we've got different combinations here we need to list in our sample space. Once again, we start with S equals in our squiggly bracket. Now the first option we have, and the order's not really important here, but the first option we have is that we could choose a red marble from the first bag and say a pink one from the second one. Now I'm using the first letters of these colours to list them, just so that it's a little bit more concise and a little bit shorter. The next option is, again, a red from the first bag, but this time a blue marble from the second bag. Or if I picked a green first from the first bag, I could pick, again, a pink from the second bag, or I could choose green from the first and blue from the second bag. If I take 1 marble from each bag, that is the list of all the possible options, and I've used my correct sample space notation for that.